Are you enjoying life? Or paying to invite suffering in?
Welcome to today's visual breakdown. Today, we're going to dive into a super fascinating and perhaps slightly mind-bending topic: the illusions of pleasure and the awakening of the soul. Let's be honest. We make choices every single day, right? And we take it for granted that the things we choose will make us happy. But there is actually a massive chasm between what we think brings us joy and the hidden truth behind it. Today, let's peel back those labels of comfort and enjoyment we love to plaster over everything and see what secrets are actually lurking underneath. To kick things off, I want to ask everyone a slightly jarring question. It might sound incredibly counterintuitive at first, but it serves as the perfect curtain raiser for the psychological and philosophical truths we are about to unpack. Think about it. The foods and entertainment you yearn for every single day, are they truly nourishing you? Or are they quietly consuming you? The trap of labels and the reality of karma. This brings us to a very vivid realization. The labels we attack to an experience have absolutely nothing to do with the karmic conditions we are actually accumulating. We are so hardwired to equate burgers and fries with comfort and deliciousness. But the reality? When we indulge in these so-called pleasures without restriction, we are quietly planting the seeds of disease inside our own bodies. In other words, what we call comfort is nothing more than an arbitrary definition we've forced upon ourselves, conditioned by our environment. So, how does this whole mechanism work? This brings us to a pivotal concept: causes and conditions, Yinuan, Nidana. Don't dismiss this as just some abstract philosophical jargon. It is an incredibly precise mechanism. Simply put, wherever you place your absolute attention, you are creating those exact conditions, and ultimately, you become that. It all comes down to what you prioritize in your heart. The cat mind versus the path to awakening. Original text offers a highly visual, almost hilarious example of this. The cat scenario. Imagine you are sitting upright, intensely focused, and studying profoundly deep wisdom. Suddenly, a cat meows next to you, begging to go outside. If, in that split second, that meow matters more to you than learning the truth, your attention is instantly snatched away. What does that mean? It means at that exact moment, your connection with the cat completely bulldozes your connection to awakening. It sounds absurd, right? But it sharply points out that your driving force in that moment isn't a pursuit of enlightenment. You are actually generating a powerful cat mind, a mind attached to mundane distractions. The 3 stages of pleasure turning into pain. This cause and effect relationship is crystal clear in our daily diet. It's a script we all know far too well. Stage 1, overindulgence. You find a certain food incredibly delicious. It brings you joy, so you feast on it wildly. Stage 2, the breakdown. Your nutrition falls out of balance. Your body can't take it anymore, and you fall ill. Stage 3, forced restriction. To stay alive or avoid pain, you are forced onto a strict diet. When you are forced to diet because you overindulged earlier, do you think you're just trying to lose weight or stay healthy? No, you have directly triggered the classic 8 sufferings noble truth of suffering. Look at how it plays out. Your favorite junk food is gone. The suffering of separation from the loved. You crave it desperately, but absolutely cannot eat it. The suffering of not getting what one desires. The burning, intense physical craving for that food. The suffering of the 5 skandhas raging. Forcing yourself to swallow healthy meals you detest. The suffering of association with the unloved. Not to mention the inevitable cycle of birth, old age, sickness, and death that follows. This completely proves that the pleasure you frantically chased in the beginning was, in its very bones, a flawless trap. Inviting your own misery. This brings us to a brutal yet awe-inspiring truth. Suffering never appears out of thin air. nor does it actively knock on your door. It is you. You spent your hard-earned money, wasted your precious time, and expended your energy to personally invite suffering in through the front door. Why do we do this? Because we've been deeply brainwashed. We mistakenly slap labels like comfortable and awesome onto things that clearly bring us misery. If we try to rip off all these fake labels, we can clearly see two entirely different modes of living. The ordinary percent awakened one, the Buddha, has the superpower to ruin a great hand of cards, can instantly transform the most wretched situation into pure peace and bliss, uses affliction's cliches to live, turning beautiful things like family life or a lavish feast into painful torment, completely unattached to the illusion, unaffected by external conditions. Why aren't we awakening? In ancient times, the most brilliant scholars saw right through this. Take Madhyalaya and Shariputra, who were supreme leaders of other spiritual traditions at the time, unmatched in their prodigal cultivation and wisdom. The very first time they heard the verse, "All phenomena arise from causes, and all phenomena cease due to causes," do you know what happened? The gears in their brains turned, and they instantly realized that cause and effect are real. Different conditions absolute yield different results. Without a single second of hesitation, they dropped all their past achievements and beliefs, turned around, and followed the Buddha, spreading this out. We really need to pause and ask ourselves a soul-searching question. We have now heard this exact same phrase. So why haven't we turned around like those ancient masters? Why are we still stuck in the endless loop of eating, drinking, and playing? This highlights a massive blind spot for modern people. Do we actually care about the truth deep down? Is our desire for ultimate peace unable to even compete with the urge to eat a Michelin-starred meal? The blueprint for true freedom. Bodhicitta people constantly say, "I want to awaken. I have set my intention." But honestly, if you don't understand how pleasure and pain operate behind the scenes, you have merely generated an ignorant mind. You don't even know what you are chasing. This is fundamentally different from true bodhicitta. True bodhicitta erupts from the bottom of your heart only when you have thoroughly seen through the extremes of worldly suffering. It is that unstoppable, burning yearning that arises when you realize that only this path brings ultimate joy. Blind faith won't work here. What we need is right view, Samyak-drsti. Right view doesn't mean nodding along with whatever others say. It demands that you rigorously understand every single detail. You must precisely grasp what the cause is, what the condition is, and why when combined they can lead you out of all suffering to ultimate bliss. That is true right view. Once you grasp this, you find the ultimate solution, generating Anuttara Samyak Sambodhicitta, the mind of supreme, perfect enlightenment. It sounds like a mouthful, right? But it isn't some vague, mystical aura. It is an incredibly precise, fully transparent, and joy-filled understanding. Because you see the path with absolute clarity, knowing there is no suffering, only bliss. You are completely willing, even eager, to trade the fleeting, toxic pleasures of the world for that eternal, unchangeable peace. To achieve this, you must attain 100% certainty. The original text uses an incredible phrase, hell-bent on winning. It is a determination that says, "I must attain this, no matter what." And this 100% conviction can only be ignited when you truly see through the illusion of worldly pleasures and realize they are nothing but endless cycles of samsara. A question to carry with you before we wrap up today's visual breakdown. I want to leave you with a question to sit with. Take a look back at your life today. Where did your attention go? What dangerous labels did you unconsciously slap onto your choices? With every pursuit and craving, were you building the causes and conditions for ultimate peace? Or, oops, did you accidentally generate that cat mind all over again? Just craving temporary comfort? I hope today's content helps you reclaim a bit of clarity. See you next time.